What's up? What's up, IG family, Facebook family? We are officially live for Wealth Talk Tuesdays. Let's see who is on time. First person on time and drops a note in the comments gets a shout out today. I appreciate y'all for logging on. Make sure I'm good to go. What's up, Facebook family? Who's that on Facebook watching? Drop a note in the comments. Say hello. Still need that intro music. If I got any artists watching and you want any type of extra exposure, I need some intro music, man. Some custom intro music. All right, there we go. We are, all right, cool. We live on Facebook. Okay, all right. What's up? Hey, my wife has joined. What's up, baby? Down in the studio. So if you are watching on Facebook, drop a note in the comments. If you're watching on Instagram, drop a note in the comments. I appreciate you for logging on to today's edition. Today is Tuesday, August 11th. This is our weekly conversation called Wealth Talk Tuesdays, where we just engage in conversation. We engage in conversation, share thoughts and ideas, tips, tricks, thoughts, philosophies, theories, whatever. What's up, Toy? When it comes to the journey of building wealth, the journey, the experience, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights of building wealth. So this week, we'll talk a little bit about just clean books and accounting, and got some exciting news. Not exciting news to share, just excited about getting to a point where I've got a more clear vision on the things that I want to do with Wealth Talk Tuesdays, along with just some of the other stuff, some of the other content that I have going on, and looking forward to some future collaborations to bring you all some, bring you some insight and information from other people, and not just myself, but insight from other people that just, helps give more context and information as you make that journey through, just building wealth and everything. So who's that on Facebook? I see I got Toya watching. What's up, Toya? Who else is watching? Who else is watching? Instagram. Big shout out. Hey, Toya, I see the event went well, man. Congratulations. Congratulations on a successful event. All the news coverage that you were able to get. That's major. So it's 1:03. We'll give it like another minute before we jump in. And if anybody's watching, I need some recommendations. If you have any recommendations on webcams, I've been obsessing over the lighting for this webcam, and I realized that it's not the lighting. The lighting is fine. It's the webcam itself. It does not pick up natural lighting that well. So if you have any recommendations on a good webcam that's excellent with low light or adjusting, automatically adjusting, shoot me a DM or drop it in the comments. Definitely would love that recommendation. And let's see, 104. So with that, man, we'll go ahead and get started. I appreciate everyone who logged in on time. I definitely want to respect your time. So I'd like to give it a few minutes, but also, again, want to respect your time. We'll be quick today. I'll try to wrap this up in, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes if I don't talk too much. But today I wanted to talk about just keeping accurate accounting, keeping accurate books, and treating your financials, your personal financials, more like a business. A lot of people now, whether you're watching this and you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner, or you're just, an everyday person, you don't have a business, you aren't trying to start a business, wherever you are on the pendulum, one of the common issues that we all have is, finances and how we keep our financing or how we keep track of our finances. And most people, when it comes to keeping track of their finances, they really only and nowadays it changes because everything is so digital. Before you used to get paper statements. Now I think you have to opt in to receive paper statements, or you're being forced, or not forced, but you're constantly being pushed to opt out of receiving paper statements. And so they're encouraging you to receive your statements digitally. Well, if you are receiving bank statements digitally, there's probably a strong likelihood that whenever those statements are being published every month, you're not really taking a look at them, because you have to log in, you have to download the PDF, then you have to go through the PDF. And just with the pace of life, it's a lot easier to look at your bank account, look at the transactions, in your ledger on your cell phone screen, rather than actually looking at the bank statement. Now, whether you look at your expenses, just on your screen and checking your account, or if you actually go through the step of looking at your bank statement, there is still another level, a higher level that you can go in terms of keeping track of your expenses, and not your incomes and your expenses, and not just keeping track of your incomes and your expenses, but taking more of a business approach, taking more of that CEO approach, that leadership approach, when it comes to how you look at how you track and record your incomes and expenses, how you effectively evaluate them, and how you utilize that information to make decisions about today, decisions about tomorrow, decisions about 6 months from now, as well as decisions about the far future. So I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. And if you've never worked in, say, an accounting department, so I've got a degree in accounting and international business. Had never, I won't say never, I had kind of intended to become an accountant only because I liked accounting when I was in high school. By the time I got to college, I really didn't have too much of a desire to become an accountant, but I just stuck with it, and and just kind of stuck it out rather than switching up majors. So I do have a background in understanding with accounting and stuff like that. But if you've never worked in accounting, if you've never worked in any type of finance position, if you've never worked in any type of executive leadership role or volunteered in a leadership role, then you may not have that much experience with financial statements, income statements, your profit and loss, your income statement, your balance sheet, that type of financial document. Well, in the journey and in the path of building wealth, you're going to have to take your financial knowledge to the next level, your comfortability and your understanding of financial documents to another level. And part of that is knowing and having familiarity with the income statement, which is going to show you, your profit and loss. Also having familiarity with your balance sheet, and being able to calculate your net worth at any given point in time, as well as being able to know at any point in time, whether you are ahead or whether you're behind. So I wanted to talk about a couple of different softwares that you could use to kind of help you with that process. I'll give you three of them. One is Quicken. Quicken is probably the least favorite of the three that I'll give you today. I think it's a little outdated in terms of its user interface, as well as its ability to connect with your accounts and things like that. But the first one is Quicken. The second one is QuickBooks, and then also FreshBooks is another one. There are a lot of different personal financial softwares out there, but those three, Quicken, QuickBooks, are going to be your two biggest ones. Quicken is kind of geared more towards just personal finances. QuickBooks is geared more towards business finances, but you can use it for personal and business. And then FreshBooks, I think, is a combination of the two. Now, in terms of utilizing this software, some of the reasons why you might want to utilize this software is because it's going to make your accounting much more accurate. When your accounting is much more accurate, one, you spend a lot more time paying attention to the ebbs and the flows. You pay attention to the what the numbers are telling you and what the numbers aren't telling you. It also gives you the ability to really be able to do a lot of things a lot more efficiently and a lot and a lot easier. Like, for example, getting a loan and having all of the financial information you need is at the tap of a finger, as opposed to if you don't keep any type of financials or any type of financial, accounting or software. When it's time for you to get a bank loan, you're scrounging for all of this information, you're searching for all of this information, and you aren't really organized. And when you aren't organized, you don't really have control over your situation. Another example, when it's time to do your taxes, it makes doing your taxes a lot easier because you have an itemized list of where your money came from, where the money went, and you can do your taxes much easier, or whoever you hire to do your taxes, you could do much easier. Now, if you think about, your largest companies, your largest corporations, and try to imagine these companies operating with no type of financial documents, no type of financial system, no type of constant review of their finances, I'm pretty sure that most businesses, if not all, really wouldn't be around, because being able to track and to monitor and to make the adjustments with your financials are pivotal, as a business and as a individual. Now, when you start looking around, or you might ask someone, hey, what type of accounting software do you use, to keep track of your financials? Most people are going to tell you, like, what are you talking about? Right? Like, I don't use any type of software. I don't even get that involved with my finances, right? I just open my banking app and I look at my banking app. But that's not really having control over your situation. That's not really, knowing with absolute detail how you're spending your money, knowing with absolute detail where you can make adjustments and where you can make changes. It's a process and a system that you have to put in place, and you're putting this in place because you know that, again, I've talked about this before, 1 out of every 100 people statistically are going to build any level of substantial wealth. If you want to be that 1 out of 100, you're going to have to do what 1 out of 100 people do, right? The people around you, the people that they're probably not interested in this type of stuff. They probably aren't going to care. So you're going to have to take it upon yourself to actually start to implement this process and implement this system for yourself. Now, if you do decide to move forward, and you do decide to pick a financial software to use, you have a couple options. You can do it yourself, right? You can do it yourself. If you aren't strong in numbers, if you aren't strong in software, computers, if you don't have the time, then I wouldn't really suggest that you do it yourself. Another option you have is to actually hire somebody to actually keep your books for you, to keep your accounting for you. That person is called a bookkeeper. You can find a bookkeeper for anywhere between $25 to $50. And honestly, if you hire somebody overseas through what is it? Is it Elance? I think it's elance.com or Upwork. Elance became Upwork.com. You can hire somebody internationally at probably a lower rate than that. And although you're going to give them access to certain information, there are certain things that you can do to vet that individual. But if you hire a bookkeeper, you might only have to pay them, depending on how many transactions you have per month. It's going to really determine how much time it's going to take you or someone else to actually do the accounting for you. But nonetheless, whether it's you or whether it's somebody else, for the average person, you're only going to have to pay that person for 2 to 3 hours a month. And so if you get them at $20, it might cost you $60 a month. But it's an expense that's well worth it, because one, it's not only going to give you better accounting and more accurate accounting over your money, but it's also going to help you start to develop certain skills that you need in order to be able to go through this process of creating, of growing and maintaining and preserving your wealth. You have to learn how to become more of an executive over your life. When you look at the CEO of an organization, the CFO of an organization, the COO of an organization, when you look at the board of directors over an organization, one of the things that they are tasked with, they're tasked with actually looking at the financials of the organization and making adjustments and adjusting plans according to what those financials mean. Just like in the investing world, as you matriculate, hey, what's up? as you matriculate and you matriculate through this wealth building process, at some point in time, you are going to have to learn how to become an active investor. Now, whether you are investing like in stocks or you're taking on more aggressive investments like real estate, you're going to have to become comfortable with understanding and being able to read financial statements. So the best way to start to build up that muscle, to build up that discipline, to build up that awareness is for you to start to implement that within your own life. Again, and the best way to do that is for you to start using some type of personal financial software where either you are the one doing the accounting or you're hiring a bookkeeper to do the accounting for you. And then on a daily, a weekly, and at a minimum a monthly basis, you are looking at your updated financials, you're looking at your incomes, you're looking at your expenses, you're looking at your overall balance sheet and your overall net worth. And then you're able to read these documents and understand, how they interrelate and how they correspond to, for example, in the case I was talking about before in investing, you now learn and are capable of being able to evaluate a company, a potential company that you're going to invest in, or a potential investment that you're going to invest in, because now you know how to read the financial statements and you know how to understand, those financial statements. So it is extremely important that at some point in time, you start to implement this process and this system for yourself. And whether it's you as an individual, whether it's you as a spouse, a significant other, I would recommend that you start with yourself first, implement it first, and then it's something that you could bring into the broader situation of your family dynamic or your personal situation. But definitely you want to start tracking those expenses. You want to definitely start reviewing those reports. You definitely want to get comfortable. Again, some of the benefits is becoming comfortable with reading financial statements. And then another benefit is it empowers you to be able to make decisions. It provides you with a higher level of accountability, and it provides you with a higher level of clarity over your financial situation. So those are just some of the things I wanted to talk about today. Let's see, we're running up on 18 minutes. So check in the comments if you have any questions or comments, whether you're watching on Facebook or Instagram. Definitely drop a note in the comment section. I'll take a minute to check, see if anybody says anything. If not, I'll go ahead and call it a wrap for Wealth Talk Tuesdays today. Again, we're talking about accounting. We're talking about claim books. We're talking about really being the CEO of your life. And another note, if you are a business owner, if you are an entrepreneur, small business owner, a lot of times people don't really think about this, but you definitely want to keep a set of books for your business and you want to keep a set of books for your personal life. You don't want to really commingle the two. So how do you do that? You go out and open up a business bank account, and then you conduct the financial business of your business inside of that business bank account. And then from an accounting standpoint, let's say you're using QuickBooks or let's say you're using QuickBooks. Excuse me, you will need a certain level of subscription for you to be able to track your business and your personal separately. You may need one account for each, or you can have a joint account that allows you to track your personal and your business collectively. So check out those softwares. QuickBooks has basically an annual subscription where you pay a flat fee and you get a full year's worth of access. If you do QuickBooks, and I think FreshBooks is the same way, you basically pay a monthly fee. Depending on where you where you sign up from, there are different avenues that you can sign up for QuickBooks. You can find discounted rates. A lot of times QuickBooks is on sale directly through QuickBooks.com, or you can find a discounted rate through some type of affiliation that you may have through an association, through your auto insurance or something like that. So make sure you check around first before you sign up and try to get the best price, but then be prepared to pay that monthly subscription fee. And don't think of it as an added expense. Think of it as an investment in yourself, an investment in your business, and is an investment in your future, an investment in your skill set, and an investment in your overall development as someone who is trying to build wealth. So with that said, if I check if we don't have any comments, no comments. I don't see any comments. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right, so peace. Thanks for logging on today. I'll see you next Tuesday for Wealth Talk Tuesdays. Also, don't forget, every Monday, we got the 3 a.m. club for entrepreneurs at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wealth Talk Tuesdays every Tuesday so far at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely stay tuned for any other content and stuff that we've got coming online. And I appreciate you as always. Take care. Peace. Love you. Stay safe.